Aquarius, welcome to your mid-September 2022 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. There's your card. Surrounded by some treacherous cards for whatever reason. We will pick an additional card. Okay. Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, interesting. Because I was thinking of inheritance issues. Because the Five of Cups, is the outcome card. I think of grieving the loss of someone. But there's these cards that are associated with other people's deception. And then the Star card as a centerpiece can be that you are guided by unseen forces, but also people who may have crossed over are influencing you or trying to contact you. And so what do I think of? I think of maybe having dealt with the physical death of somebody, because I don't believe in death, but I mean the physical death and all of the things that go along with that. But anyway, we'll just talk about the faith or the hope restored in your life. In the past position, Seven of Swords, some kind of thievery, somebody stealing something from you. So that would also apply to inheritances. If somebody is, like maybe a sibling or something trying to steal the money from the from the rest of the siblings, or at work, stealing ideas. The swords relate to air energy, which of course you're an air sign, Gemini, Libra, but also the intellectual property of somebody. This could be physical property as well. And sometimes people don't want to believe that somebody that is supposed to love them would do such a thing. The higher message is the Five of Swords, and this can involve some kind of smear campaign. So somebody lying about you, gossiping about you. I always think of the workplace with this card. So it could be that one person is the instigator, but it's based on multiple people that are that don't have your back, would rather stab it than have it. So in astrology, we would call that hidden enemies. The 12th house can be hidden enemies. And, who are those people? Not to make this all paranoid or anything, but you may know who I'm talking about, that there are people that you don't trust but what I'm trying to say is that maybe you have trusted them and they haven't deserved the trust. And what crosses you is the Eight of Torches, which is the Eight of Wands. This to me is like stagnant energy. So it's like, for instance, if you're in a work situation, you may be feeling like you have more options in your life, but you may have come from the dark night of the soul. And certainly for Aquarians, because Pluto is in your 12th house, it can be quite difficult. I'm not going to lie. Luckily, luckily Pluto's going into Aquarius in March of 2023, but that means it'll be in, with your sun. I think that can be really good. I'm kind of joking, but I just realized that, the 12th house to the first house, but when it's in the 12th house, it might even be a karmic situation that you have to experience certain cleansings, let's put it that way. So that might be people, places, and things that are just not serving you and that you need to let go of in your life because you've allowed them way too long. Oh, this was the additional card. Okay. What is coming in is the Four of Swords. Sometimes we can even look at this as an advice card. I'm not the kind of person to give advice. People have to make their own decisions, but I do say you could look at whether or not you need to do like the Four of Swords, and you see that person's in kind of a resting mode. It can be physical rest. Maybe you've been through some, let's say that you have had to deal with, or you've kind of taken care of a loved one before they passed away, and that took a lot out of you. So if they have passed away, you might still be in mourning, but you also want to build your body back up. If you feel like that you have depleted yourself physically, because that can be a definite result of stress, is just this feeling of depletion. But the other side of that too is that it could be mental, that you really need to rest your mind. And the outcome is the Five of Cups. I did pick an additional card, and this is a card of mourning the loss of something. That person has that cup, and it's like all that water isn't going to be contained because there's so much, those cups can't contain all that water. So it's kind of like when your heart is overflowing, and it's with a sign like Aquarius. I mean, of course, you might have inner planets in water sign like Pisces. Definitely is a possibility. But just the nature of an Aquarius person is to be quite, I wouldn't call it stoic. That was the word that came into my mind, but it's detachment. And it's a detachment maybe because you are so intuitive that you know the truth is that there is no death, so there's nothing to mourn. Now, I'm not saying that this is all about a death. This could even be about, if you have, let's say you have lost a job. Now, this is a very positive card, so I'm reading it almost like something bad happened in the past. But because those two cards are surrounding it, I have to think that your attitude is coming out of very negative circumstances. And let's say that you lost your job or you got demoted or something like that, and you feel like somebody did something behind the scenes. Let's say you did lose your job. Instead of saying, oh man, they cheated me from this job, because they thank God I'm away from this place where there are a lot of snakes in the grass, where there's people I can't trust. And so the Five of Cups is about acknowledging the loss. We don't bypass and say, oh, everything's just perfect. You can hold both of those thoughts at the same time, of like gratitude that you're no longer in that position, and still mourn the loss of what occurred, because there might have been betrayal, deception, and even deception is betrayal because you trust somebody and they do you wrong. The card that is the clarification card, the Nine of Pentacles, it can be this idea of having what you need to exist, survive materially, independently, that you don't need the job, that you don't need that situation. If you're in a family situation with money, yes, you're trying to grieve the loss of that person. And then in addition to that, you're grieving the loss of the illusion of maybe a family member that you thought more of, and now you have this negative feeling about them. And sometimes we have to grieve the loss of an illusion when we actually thought somebody was other than what they were. And they showed us who they were. And it's very disappointing to be in that situation. So in any case, that's what I have for you. And I hope that you are doing well, Aquarius. If you would like a private reading, please check out my double reading specials as well as my standalone readings at rainandmoonastrology.com. The link is below. Take care. Bye.